Y'all, welcome to Andrea Speaks TV. I'm your host, Andrea, and I'm bringing you commentary you can use. So, this is episode 57. Episode 57, y'all. I want to start by saying thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate those of you who are subscribers. Even if you're not subscribed yet, those of you all who tune in each week when I do upload new content, and you're tuning in, you're getting the information, you're sharing the information, and leaving feedback and your comments right here on the channel. So I want to thank you all so much for tuning in. You all know that yesterday, if you saw my video, if you tuned in live, was it yesterday or the day before? The video where I talked about exactly what's going on right now in Austria, and a certain group of people in Austria, the country of Austria, which is in Europe. And because they chose not to get a certain thing, you all know what I'm talking about. Because they chose not to get a certain thing, those people right now are on lockdown, a lockdown that was imposed by the Austrian government. So I want to come back on. I told you all that I would be coming back on live. I want to talk about that. I want to know your, I'm going to share some more information with you. I want to get your thoughts. I want to hear your comments. So make sure you're leaving your comments in the chat. And as I was sitting down doing more research, I learned, y'all, that actually the police in Austria are actually conducting random checks to make sure that the people who are out and about running errands, going about their daily life, they actually have the police out now in Austria. And according to my research, I'm going to get into this article. They're saying that the police is conducting random checks to make sure that the people who are out and about got the thing. Okay, so we're going to get into that. And I want to make sure that I get your feedback on it as well. I want to thank you all so much. Those of you all who are watching now live, or if you are watching the replay, please comment below, say hello. Let me know your thoughts on this topic and also on the information that I am going to present. So I want to give you all some background information. So here is an article that I found. This article comes from CNBC. And this article actually came out this past Friday, which was November the 12th. And at the time on Friday, November 12th, this lockdown had not gone into effect. But the title of this article, again, this was published on Friday, November 12th. This does come from CNBC. And the title of the article says, Austria to impose a lockdown on millions of people that did not get the thing. You all know what I mean when I say did not get the thing, right? So Austria to impose lockdown on millions of people that didn't get the thing, as the number of what the article is saying, the number of a certain type of case, you all know what I'm talking about, is surging. Okay, so let me just give you some information. This came out again before the lockdown went into effect. You all know the lockdown is in effect now. And so listen at what they were saying or alleging at the time. Okay. All right, let me find the beginning of the article. Now, again, this was published. I want to be clear. This was published on Friday, November 12th. We now know that the lockdown in Austria is in effect. Okay. So this news came out before the lockdown went into effect. So according to CNBC, the article says Austria at the time is expected to impose lockdown restrictions on millions of people that did not get the thing in the coming days. Okay. Now, the chancellor did a press conference this past Friday, and hold on, y'all. Let me see. He did a press conference this Friday, and he made the statement that his, let me see, it didn't print out clearly. I'm sorry about that, y'all. It looks like that his government wanted to give, and I quote, the green light to such measures by Sunday, talking about the lockdown. Okay. Let's see. Lawmakers met over the weekend. They were going to meet over the weekend, which they did, to discuss the move, according to the news agency. Now, the article also says that the chancellor rejected the notion of a nationwide lockdown being applied to all of Austria's citizens. Okay, so I guess at one time, maybe someone asked the question, okay, is this lockdown going to be for everyone or certain groups of people? Listen to this, y'all. So the chancellor rejected the notion of a nationwide lockdown being applied to all of Austria's citizens, telling reporters on Friday that the 2/3 of the population who had accepted the thing would not be forced to show, and I quote, solidarity with the people that did not get the thing. Okay, what do y'all think about that? However, he did caution that there may be some tightening of other restrictions. Okay, thank you all so much, those of you all who are tuned in. If you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. I'm building a community of people who are concerned about the times we're living in. We're looking for truth about what's going on, the information that's being shared and pushed out to us, and we're looking for real solutions. So if you want to be a part of that community, make sure you subscribe to Andrea Speaks TV. I am the host, Andrea, and every week I give you all commentary you can use. I upload new content, and I also welcome you to share news, factual news, because that is what I report. I welcome you to share factual news with me. So thank you all so much for taking time out of your evening, out of your night to tune in and get information and share. All right, so let me keep reading, y'all. Now, the chancellor said last month in October, that if the number of cases continued to rise, those who chose not to get the thing, and by the thing, y'all know what I'm talking about, those people would face new lockdown restrictions in line with the government's incremental plan. Now, that strategy would place the people that did not get the thing under lockdown once the sickness is going around. Those patients occupy 30% of ICU beds in hospitals. Okay, thank you all again so much for your support of the channel. Make sure you hit the like button, share this video, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can stay connected when I upload new content every week. All right, y'all. Now, they also talked about patients. We all know the sickness is going around. They talked about the patients with the sickness currently take up 20% of ICU beds in Austria. That's according to another news source, and that level is rising fast. Now, the article also says that the country saw 67,148 new cases of the sickness that's going around over the past 7 days, a new record weekly high, and that's according to Johns Hopkins University data. Okay. The chancellor was also quoted as saying, we have just days until we have to introduce a lockdown for people that did not get the thing. Okay. And that is what he told a press conference this past Thursday. And as I shared in the beginning, we now know that those lockdowns are in effect. So I want to know, I'm going to keep sharing information, but if you're watching now live, let me know in the chat. Okay. I would like to hear your thoughts, your comments. Let me know, how do you feel about the lockdowns that are being, the mandatory lockdowns that the people who chose not to get a certain thing in the country of Austria are going through? What are your thoughts on that? And I'm gonna, if you're saying, okay, Andrew, what are you talking about? I haven't not even heard of this. Let me fill you in just in case you have not seen my video on my channel. Okay. Again, make sure you subscribe to Andrea Speaks TV. Now, if you are not aware of what I'm talking about, Austria, the country of Austria, which is in Europe, it is a European country. Now, this information came out on Monday. Monday was November the 15th. And this information comes from NBC. Okay, this information comes from NBC News. And the title of the article says, Austria orders a lockdown for people that did not get the thing amid the pandemic surge. Okay, now the move, the caption says, the move, which took effect at midnight, prohibits people 12 and older who haven't gotten the thing, or recently recovered from leaving their homes except for basic activities. Okay. So again, let me share with you all what's going on. This information comes from NBC News. So the article says Austria took what its leader called the, and I quote, dramatic step Monday of implementing a nationwide lockdown for people that did not get the thing, who haven't recently had the sickness that's going around related to the pandemic. You all know what I'm talking about. Perhaps the most drastic of a string of measures being taken by European governments to get a massive regional resurgence of this particular virus under control. Okay, now, again, the article goes on to say the move, which took effect at midnight, prohibits people 12 and older who have not gotten the thing or recently recovered from leaving their homes except for basic activities. So, what this article is saying, that these people, if you chose not to get a certain thing, you cannot leave your home. Okay, think about this, y'all. Does this sound right? Does this feel right? What are your thoughts on this? Just because these people chose, for whatever reason, as I shared in my video from the other day, I shared, which was actually episode 56. I shared that, because of whatever their beliefs are, they felt that, for whatever reason, their belief, whether they did research, they chose that they did not want to put this certain thing in their body. And so now these people are being told that because of the decision that they chose to make, them doing what they felt like was best for themselves, they're being told they cannot leave their homes except for basic activities such as working, grocery shopping, going to school or a university or for a walk, or if they change their mind and say, you know what, I'm going to go out and get the thing. So you all let me know. Go ahead and type in the chat, whether you're watching now live or by replay. Let me know, what are your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Is this a step that you think the government or the leadership in Austria should be taking? You all let me know your thoughts in the chat. To me, as I shared in my video that I recorded before about this topic when I first brought you all the news, which was on Monday, I feel like, it's something about this that is not right. I believe that people should have the choice as to what they do and do not want to put in their bodies, based on their personal beliefs, how they feel, what they do and do not believe in. And this just does not seem like, it doesn't seem like this is the way to go about handling this, if you know what I mean. But you all let me know your thoughts in the chat. I want you all to think about that. I'm going to bring you out some more information. Give me just a few minutes. You all make sure, I want to give you some time to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Also share this video. If you're just tuning in and you're saying, okay, who is this lady talking about what's going on in Austria? I am Andrea, and I am the host of Andrea Speaks TV. I bring you commentary you can use. I report factual information. Like I shared before, if you're someone, you're concerned about the times that we're living in and you're seeking truth about what's going on, the information being shared with us, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I am building a community of people who, like I said, we're concerned about what's going on. We're seeking truth. We're sharing factual information. And I want you to be a part of that community. So make sure you subscribe. Also share with your family and friends. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you all a few minutes to make sure you subscribe and share this video. All right. You all stay tuned because I do have more information to share. Thank you all so much for your support. You all let me know. Is that something that, could you imagine that happening in your country? Do you think that is something that could happen in your country? You all let me know. Thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate you all for tuning in um, and getting the information and sharing the information. Okay. All right. Y'all make sure, again, like I said, make sure you subscribe so you can stay connected when I do go live each week. And I bring you all commentary and news that you can use. So again, y'all, we're live now. I'm live talking to you all about what's going on in Austria. Austria has ordered lockdowns for their citizens who, for whatever reason, like I shared, they chose not to get a certain thing. And I want to hear from you all. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's right? And if you don't think it's right, what is another way that they could have gone about handling this situation in their particular country? And I would also like to hear from you. Do you think this is something that could possibly happen in your own country? You all let me know your thoughts. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and keep sharing some information with you all. If you're watching now live or you're just tuning in, we're talking about the recent lockdowns that are going on right now in the country of Austria. Austria, for those who may not know, is located in Europe. And again, people who chose, for whatever reason, chose not to get a certain thing, they are on a mandatory lockdown. Okay. Now, again, according to information that I researched on NBC News, let me correct that. This is information coming from NBC News. The lockdown, which took effect at midnight this past Monday, prohibits people 12 and older who have not had the thing or recently recovered from leaving their homes except for basic activities such as working, grocery shopping, going to school or university or for a walk, or getting the thing. Now, the lockdown is initially being imposed until November 24th. So it seems like it's initially a 10-day lockdown in the Alpine country of 8.9 million people. Now, it doesn't apply to children under 12 because they cannot yet officially get the thing, according to the article. Though the capital, Vienna, on Monday opened up the thing for people under 12 as part of a pilot project, the article says, and reported high demand. Okay, you all let me know your thoughts on this. Now, officials say police patrols. Okay, now I have another article, an updated article that is actually talking about the fact that police in Austria are actually out and about in the public, and they're stopping people and they're actually checking their status. So imagine that, y'all. I'm going to get to that in just a moment. So according to this article, again, I'm reading from NBC News. It says officials say police patrols and checks will be stepped up, and people who did not get the thing can be fined up to 1,450 euros. In US dollars, that's about $1,660, according to the article, if they violate the lockdown. Okay, now here's a statement by the chancellor, and I want to know how you feel about this. The chancellor says, "We really didn't take this step lightly, and I don't think it should be talked down." Okay, that's what the chancellor told a radio station. Now, he also said, and I quote, "This is a dramatic step. About 2 million people, 2 million people, y'all, in the country of Austria are affected." And he also went on to quote, "What we are trying is precisely to reduce contact between those who got the thing, those who chose to get the thing, and those who chose to get the thing and those who chose not to get the thing." Okay, they're saying that they're trying to reduce contact to a minimum, and also they're trying to reduce contact between those who chose not to get the thing. How do y'all feel about that? Seems like they're trying to separate and divide those who did get it, those who did not. What are your thoughts on that? I would like to know your thoughts on that. Okay, again, the chancellor also said my aim is very clearly to get those who did not get the thing to get themselves to get the thing, and not to lock down those who did choose to get it. Okay, are y'all following me? He also added in the long term, and I quote, in the long term, the way out of this vicious circle we are in. And he also quoted saying, and it is a vicious circle. We are stumbling from wave to lockdown, and that can't carry on ad infinitum. Okay, I guess that means can't carry on ad infinitum, is only to get the thing. Okay, that's a quote that the chancellor said. Okay, now the article does say about 65% of Austria's population does have the thing, a rate that the chancellor described as, and I quote, shamefully low. Okay, that's what, according to the chancellor, this article in this article in NBC News. All students at schools, whether they have the thing or not, are now required to take 3 tests per week. Okay, you all know what type of test. At least one of them a PCR test. Okay, let me know your thoughts on that. I have been doing my research, and I do know that here in the U.S. where I am, that certain schools, actually, I haven't reported on this yet, but you all have, those of you all who follow the channel, you all have heard me talk about whitehouse.gov. You all have heard me talk about whitehouse.gov. Anytime there is an announcement or the White House makes a statement, they usually post it to whitehouse.gov. So make sure you check out that website if you have not already, and look this up. But there is a plan in place. There is a plan in place to implement this testing in the public schools here in the United States. So I'll try to get some information, more information on that. But in the meantime, if you don't want to wait on me to report it first, make sure you go to whitehouse.gov and look up the plan that our president and the administration has put together to implement testing. You all know exactly what type of testing I'm talking about. Their plan to implement testing in school. Let me know how you all feel about this. Okay, let's see what else the article says. Again, the authorities, the article says, are concerned about rising infections and increasing pressure on hospitals. Okay, Austria on Monday recorded, and this is according to the article, Austria on Monday recorded 894.3 new cases per 100,000 residents over the previous 7 days. That is far worse, according to the article. That is far worse than neighboring Germany, which has set its own pandemic records of late and has 303 new cases per 100,000 residents over 7 days. Okay. All right, let's see. Now, the article did say that on Thursday, the German parliament is due to vote on a new legal framework for restrictions drawn up by the parties that are expected to form the country's next coalition government. Those plans are reportedly being beefed up to allow tougher contact restrictions than originally planned. Okay, let's see. I'm just kind of skimming over the article, just reporting, some of the highlights. Okay. All right. So now I want to get into an updated article. This article came out today. Today is Wednesday, November 17th. And the title of this article says that the Austrian police conduct random checks to enforce the lockdowns for those people that did not get the thing. Okay, thank you all again so much for tuning in to the channel. I am your host, Andrea, the host of Andrea Speaks TV. And you all know that I'm bringing you commentary you can use. So again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate your support. So let's keep talking about it, y'all. Let me go back to the article. All right, so again, now this information, this article that I'm reporting on does come from CNBC. And again, I'm going to read the title. I am changing around some of the wording. Austrian police conduct random checks to enforce the lockdowns for those people that did not get the thing. Okay. All right. Again, this comes from CNBC. The article says Austria has imposed fresh lockdown measures. We talked about that on around 2 million people that did not get the thing, with individuals facing fines if they fail to comply with the rules. Now, those who do not fully have the thing have been back under lockdown since Monday, okay, with federal police stopping people in public places to check their status. Okay, did y'all just hear what I said? So what they're saying is that for those people who did not get the thing, so basically it seems like the people who are out and about, it seems like the people who are out and about, it says the federal police, now again, this is in Austria, they're saying that the federal police are stopping people in public places to check their status. Now think about that, y'all. Could you imagine yourself, okay, whatever country you're living in, because I do have several supporters, subscribers in other countries, and I thank you all so much. Imagine you being where you are. You're just out and about. You're going to and from wherever you go just on a daily basis, right? Imagine you're out walking about and there are people who are just coming up to you randomly, stopping you, and they're asking you, okay, do you have the thing? Show me proof whether or not you have the thing. How would that make you feel? Do you think that's necessary? Do you think that's overstepping a boundary? Shouldn't that be private information? When did it become anyone's business to know whether or not you chose to put a certain thing in your body? When did it become so open just to share private information, confidential information? What do you all think about that? Let me keep reading, okay? Now, let's see. Those people who did not get the thing, who breached the lockdown rules, face fines up to, this one says faces fine, according to CNBC, it says they face fines up to 500 euros, which I guess in US dollars would be about $567, the article says. And anyone who refuses to comply with the status of a certain thing, checks could be fined 1,450 euros. So according to the article, if a federal police officer comes up to someone in Austria and they refuse to share their status or to share their what I would think would be confidential private medical information, it says they could be fined simply for refusing. So how do you feel about that? Is that right to you? Do you think these people, again, for whatever reason, whatever their belief is, do you feel as if they should be fined for not choosing to get a certain thing? Okay. It says the fresh restrictions apply to everyone over the age of 12 who has not had 2 doses of the thing. People who have recently recovered from the virus, let's see, are exempt from the restrictions. So based on this information, it says if you've recently recovered from it, you are exempt from the lockdown restrictions. Now, full proof, and you all know what I'm talking about, full proof of the thing is required, it says, to visit public places like restaurants, hair salons, and according to the article, Christmas markets. Okay, in Vienna, children over the age of 6 will need to show a negative test to be permitted entry into these public places. So again, it's saying that children over the age of 6, y'all, will need to show a negative test to be permitted entry into these public places. What are your thoughts on that? How do you all, what are your thoughts on that? Think about this, y'all. Is this the direction? Is this what the world is coming to? I know this is one country, and like I shared in my previous video, you may look at this and say, okay, Andrea, I don't live in Austria. This is I'm on a completely different continent. I live nowhere near Europe. This has nothing to do with me. And that may be true, but what I want us to think about, you and I, what I want us to think about is someone somewhere sitting around saying, hey, if they're doing that in Austria, let's try that here in the US or wherever country that you're watching from. Is this something that could have a trickle effect and happen in other parts of the world? We see it happening right now with the mandates that are the federal mandate, coming from our government. We see that in other parts of the world, there have been mandates put in place, and there are people who are challenging those mandates. I know right here in the US, you can say that there has been a hold on that as it's being challenged in court. And so, do you think, again, I asked this question, I want to hear from you. Do you think that this is the right solution? It seems like people's rights are not being respected. Um, it seems like there is a need to want to control people's lives and livelihood. So let me know your thoughts in the chat. I want to hear from you. All right. Let's see. Okay, now when proving whether you have the thing, it says that they're only accepting the thing that has been approved by Europe's medical regulator. That's Pfizer, BioNTech, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna will be accepted by Austrian authorities when it comes to proving the status. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we talked about the number of cases, there being a concern for the number of cases. Announcing the fresh lockdown restrictions at a press conference on Sunday, the Austrian chancellor said the rules would be, and I quote, monitored very consistently and sanctioned by police officers. Okay. Again, here's a quote. The chancellor told reporters the situation in Austria is serious, and a fourth wave is just catching us in full severity. This is according to the chancellor. He also said the number of new infections in Austria is higher than it has ever been before. And according to the chancellor, the only way to break this vicious cycle of the pandemic is to get the thing. Okay. One thing that I don't see, it seems like there is, even with this thing, right? To me, it seems like there's only one solution being pushed, out there. It's like, okay, you need to get the thing, you need to get the thing. And as I shared, I believe people should have a choice as to what they put in their, as what, they put into their bodies. And it seems like there's only one solution. The only way that we can get through this pandemic and put it behind us, put us in the past, it seems like that they're saying there's only one solution. But based on my research, there are there seems to be other solutions that people have done research, medical professionals have done research on. Some of the ones, I'm not exactly sure of the name, but there are some out there you can, research on your own. And you have medical professionals saying, hey, this has been proven to be effective. And I don't know if the media or the government or whoever you want to, say is responsible. I don't know if they want these other proven solutions to be put out there. But, we all know the number one thing that it seems like they're saying, hey, you need to get this, you need to get this. It seems like that's really the only thing that's being pushed. So that's concerning. And I also find what I find alarming and concerning is that, they aren't promoting. Do you hear medical professionals? Do you hear our government promoting? Now there are some out there, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm saying no medical professionals are promoting this, but from the people that we constantly hear and see in the media who are talking about this, right? Do we hear them promoting wellness as an alternative to fighting, as an alternative to not getting the thing and fighting and protecting yourself from this thing, from this virus? Do you hear, why aren't we hearing medical professionals at the forefront of this? Why don't we hear them promoting getting sunlight, making sure that we get vitamin D? Why don't we hear them talking about changes in diet and exercise? Why is that not being pushed as a solution to fighting this thing that is out there? It seems like there's one thing, and you all know the thing that I'm talking about. It seems like there's just really one thing that they want to push to say, hey, the solution, the only way to, to protect yourself and to get rid of this is if everyone gets the thing. But why don't we hear, like I said, getting sunlight, promoting wellness, diet and exercise? Why don't we hear that as being solutions to our bodies fighting this thing? Do you all agree with me? Or are you hearing that? Why does it seem like there's really just one thing? Why not say, hey, here are all the things, based on research, based on science, if you want to say? Why not say, hey, based on what we've come up with, there have been proven studies that have been done over time or over a period of time. These are all possible solutions or remedies to help you fight this thing. And based on, based on the solutions, you choose what you feel like is right for you and for your body. Why aren't we hearing that? Why is it just primarily one thing that's being pushed? Especially to, certain communities, it seems like it's being pushed harder, especially the black community, it seems like it's being pushed harder towards them than others. Why is that? Do you agree with me? Are you all seeing that? Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now, getting back to the article again, thank you all so much. We are talking about the lockdowns that are in Austria and the fact that people who chose not to get a certain thing are being told that they cannot come out of their house unless they're going to the store, unless they're going to the grocery store. If they need to go grocery shopping, they can't go anywhere unless they're going to work, school or university, or if they change their mind and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go out and get the thing. Should they be put on lockdown? Is that really the solution? Is that really the message that the government wants to put out to the people? Is that, hey, if you don't do what we tell you to do, we're going to put you on lockdown and make things harder for you? Let me know your thoughts on that. Okay. All right. So again, this information comes from CNBC. I'm bringing you some information talking about the Austrian police conducting random checks. So again, the people who are out and about, they're being randomly checked by police. So imagine you're just out with your family, whether you chose to get it or not. You're just out with your family or you're out alone. And maybe you want to, go to the bookstore. Maybe you want to get something to eat. And all of a sudden you're approached by federal police and they're asking you to show your status. What do you think about that? Do you, it's not funny, but is this what the world is coming to? Think about it. Is this what the world is really coming to? Thank you all so much, those of you all who are watching. Let me know. I really, really, really want to know your thoughts on this. Is this what the world is coming to? That now we cannot even, whether we have it or not, okay, whether you chose to do the thing or not, is this what the world is coming to? All right. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm live now, coming back, giving updates on what is happening in Austria. So thank you all so much. You all are right on time, okay? But think about it, y'all. Think about this. Is this what the world is coming to? Now, not only are the people in Austria, the people who chose not to get a certain thing, not only are they um the people who chose not to get a certain thing, not only are they being told that, hey, you can't go anywhere, you're on lockdown in your house, but now for the people who are out and about, whether they chose to comply with the lockdown, now all of a sudden the federal police in Austria are going up randomly checking people. Can y'all believe that? You may be out somewhere, these people, I'm saying you, but I'm saying, I'm really talking about the people in Austria. They may be, what if they just want to go out and go to the movies? They have their family, it's adults and children. And all of a sudden, the police are coming up asking them to show proof of a thing. What is your status? Isn't that confidential medical information? Why does that have to be shared with police? Why are police checking that? This is all of this, y'all. You can look it up. All of this is happening in the country of Austria. All right, someone made a comment in the chat. Let's see. Unfortunately, it seems. Hold on, y'all. The comments. When I'm live on my, I'm streaming live on my cell phone, and so when I do that, sometimes I see the comments, but they go away very quickly. Unfortunately, this is what a subscriber shared. Unfortunately, it seems. Hold on. Unfortunately, it seems that this is what the world is coming to. It's like the powers that be are gradually implementing more control measures. They're trying to see how much they can get away with. I'm telling you, it really seems like it's about control. The more I research, and I'm going to be honest, when everything first happened, I can say that for myself, even for my family, even in talking with my husband about it, we feel like we have more information now than what we had before, right around the time the pandemic first happened. And I've even seen this question posed in some of the articles that I've been reading. Is it? It seems like it's a shift more towards. Again, this is my opinion. This is based on my research, what I've read. It seems like that there may not be. It seems like there's a shift from. I'll just say this. It seems like it's going in the direction of we want to control you, um, and wanting to control people's livelihood, everyday life. You all let me know your thoughts on that as well. Do you feel like this is really about control? Do you feel like it's really about protecting the health of the masses, or do you feel like it's really about control? You all let me know. And someone said HIPAA is going out the window. I'm telling you, it's just, I don't know. I did see that today. I'm still doing some research. Someone did say, okay, hold on, y'all. It's like the comments are vanishing. Okay, this is all about control. The way the people who didn't get the thing are being demonized is alarming. Yes, disturbing and unnecessary. This is being done to deliberately cause conflict. That's another thing. It seems like, and I've said this before here on the channel, it seems like they create the problem, but then they also create the solution. So, again, it seems like, and I mentioned this earlier, it seems like clearly, and I don't know if the media, I don't know who, you can really point the finger at, but it seems like that there's an agenda, it seems like that there is an agenda to put in the minds of the people to say, you know what, let's make it two categories of people now. Let's divide the people. Let's cause division and chaos, and let's categorize people as the people who did get the thing and the people who did not get the thing. So I do agree. I do agree that it seems like this is an attempt to cause conflict. Um, you all, if you're watching now and you are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can stay connected when I do upload new content every week. We're living in a time now where I don't know if you all watch the news, but there is so much that's going on. There are some things going on that we need to know about that are not in the forefront, y'all. There are things that are happening now, um, that we need to know about that we just don't know about. And so I shared that in my very first video of the channel. I shared that I wanted to be a source of news and information because there's so much information being pushed out to us that a lot of times it's very hard to say, okay, like what's going on? What is it that we need to know? What do we need to do to make a plan to protect ourselves and our families, our friends and loved ones, to share with them so that so that we all can navigate and make it through the times that we're living in. Okay, thank you all so much. I see your comments coming through. Someone shared they want things to get way out of control, then come back in. Okay, I'm trying to read the comments, y'all. I'm gonna figure out one day how to keep the comments from vanishing. Okay, let's see. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm gonna try to read the comments. They want things to get way out of control, then come in, crack down, and bring in martial law. That's another thing, just my opinion. Thank you for sharing that. Someone else said, let's see. Someone else said they want, okay, I read that. Thank you for sharing that. Martial law is, wow. If you all are not familiar with martial law, please research. I don't want to really speak on it because I don't want to, but it's basically like, how can I describe it? Share more about martial law. I don't want to describe it the wrong way, but from what I've researched, isn't it like where pretty much the military just comes in and it's like, okay, you do what we say. The only option is to do what we say. Isn't that what martial law? Let me look it up really quickly. You know how you know what something is, but you can't really describe it. And so I don't want to like say it's the wrong thing. Okay, I know what I'm talking about, but I don't want to describe it in a way where it's like, what? That's not martial law. Okay, martial law. Hold on, y'all. Give me just a moment. Thank you all so much again. Thank you for tuning in. We are here talking about the lockdowns that are happening right now or the lockdown that is happening right now in Austria. And is this even something that the people who chose not to get a certain thing, is this even something that they should be going through? That's right, military control. Someone shared it is military control, is martial law. All right. According to Britannica, okay, hold on, y'all. According to Britannica, martial law, listen to this, y'all. According to Britannica, martial law is temporary rule by military authorities of a designated area in time of emergency when the civil authorities are deemed unable to function. The legal effects of a declaration of martial law differ in various jurisdictions, but they generally involve a suspension of normal civil rights and the extension to the civilian population of summary military justice or military law. Okay? Although temporary in theory, a state of martial law may in fact continue indefinitely. Okay, so that is what they're saying about martial law. Okay, so thank you to the subscriber who shared that. That is definitely something to be concerned about. Okay, I want to get back to some of your comments. Let's see. Someone shared earlier. I think I did share this. They want things to get way out of control, then come in, crack down, and bring in martial law. Just my opinion. Someone else shared always about control because people don't pay attention to things outside their bubble. Get right with the Most High to endure this. Okay. All right. Hello, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all for taking time out to tune in. Again, we are talking about the lockdown that is happening right now in Austria. And you all know, I shared this information with you all on Monday when the lockdown went into effect. And I'm going to be honest. I just happened to be doing some research and I saw this information and it was not on the front page of um, the new, it wasn't a front page news story. So why do you all think that is? Do they not want people to know about what's going on in Austria right now? Do you think they don't want people to know that? Why do you think this is not front page news? Or do you think this is, do you believe this is front page news? It was kind of hard for me to find this article. Not that I was searching for it, but again, if I were to type in CNN, I didn't see this on the front page. So why do you think something like this is happening, but it's not the number one news story? Okay, let me see if more comments came through. Someone said the thing is the people who didn't get the thing can still catch it and spread it. That is true. That is what has been reported. Just because someone, hold on, let me see. Just because someone didn't get the thing doesn't mean they're a danger, right? They're being made out to be the villain to scare others. Why do you think that's the case? I don't think that people are really thinking about it like that. I completely agree with what you're saying. It seems like, based on what information has been shared with me, it seems like whether you got it or not, you still have the same risk level. So whether you get it or not, does it really mean that you are necessarily protected like you should be or like you think you may be? Let me know how you all feel about that. Let me see. Someone else shared a comment. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Someone shared it's not front page news because it's not entertaining and it doesn't sell ads. Now that is very true. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Someone said being in the military. Okay. Someone tuning in is in the military. Okay. Thank you for your service so much. Thank you for your service to our country. I don't know if you're in the U.S., but no matter where you are, thank you so much for your service. Someone said being in the military, I can tell you for myself personally, the thing messes with your with your immune system, and don't just leave your body without some prayer and fasting. Okay. Someone said I posted an article a week ago. It got 0 comments. I'm telling you, there are so many. This is another thing I said about my channel. There are so many distractions out there. There are so many things that can be a distraction to us. So many other things, news, again, that's being pushed out to us, that it's almost like, okay, let's distract them with this so they won't figure out what's really going on. And I think that I commend you for posting that, the article that you said you shared, but for some reason, people just didn't respond to it. It could have been, I don't know if it was something that maybe they said, hey, if it doesn't apply to me, then I shouldn't be concerned about it. Or maybe they just didn't have the mindset to even, be aware of it and say, you know what, this is something I need to know about. Let me stop and read. So I think that's where, for a lot of people, we have to change our mindset and say, hey, wait a minute, look at what's going on. This is not normal what's going on now. Let me stop. Let me do some research for myself. Don't let me just take someone else's word for it. These are things that I need to find and research for myself. So I completely agree with your comment. Okay, someone said this should be front page news. Please remember that MSM is owned by corporations and don't want certain topics discussed. That is true. Yes, thank you for your sacrifices. Someone earlier said they were in the military. Thank you so much for your service to the country and your sacrifice. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I didn't skip over anyone's comments. Okay, I told you all I'm streaming from my cell phone, so sometimes it's like the comments will show up and it'll disappear, but don't worry, y'all. I'm getting better, and I'm going to figure out how to make the comments stay on the screen without disappearing. So y'all work with me. Thank you so much. This is live, y'all. I'm not, I don't know how to go back and edit anything. So this is live. So, if something happened, I'm like, okay, y'all, wait a minute. Y'all gonna have to work with me because I'm still learning. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, someone said the testing in school is another deception. If you don't get the thing, it won't matter if they get tested. So what is the test really for? That is my question. What is the test really for? What are you testing for? Let's see. Okay, someone shared it was the path my father put me on. I need the contrast and discipline for sure. Okay. Father is in the Most High. Okay, someone else shared, I've had people tell me they don't want to hear about things going on. They just want to party. It's all about priorities. I can agree with that as well. But hopefully for those people, um, things will turn around and they'll say, hey, wait a minute. These are things that we really need to know about. Okay. All right. Y'all keep the comments coming. I like that you all are even talking to each other and sharing information. But let me keep going. So again, y'all, police in Austria, federal police in Austria. We know the people are on lockdown, people who chose not to get a certain thing. Not only are these people on lockdown, but you have the federal police now going about in public places, randomly checking, asking people for their status. And again, like I said before, to me, that is personal, confidential medical information. When has there ever been a need to share that with the police? That doesn't seem weird, y'all. The police or anyone outside of your medical doctor or your family or whoever you choose to share that information with. That is okay. So think about this. This is happening in Austria, right? Could you imagine that happening in your country where you live at? How would you feel if you and your family you chose to go out to an event, or if you chose to go out to eat, and you're at the table, and the next thing you know, police are coming over asking, or someone is coming over asking to check your status to see if you got the thing? How would you feel about that? Someone shared in USA, citizens must hold on, let me see the comments vanishing. Okay. In the USA, citizens must test or get the thing, but then the Biden administration said that migrants entering aren't required to do that. I did research that. Okay. Also, international travel has resumed. Some places are hotspots. I agree. I did read about that as well. And as far as migrants, I know that there are people for whatever reason. People are coming from war-torn countries. That was almost a tongue twister. People are coming from war-torn countries. People, for whatever reason, they are fleeing their home country and they are seeking to come, for example, here to the U.S. to make a better way for themselves and their family. And I feel like, people should be helped. I know that there are different ways to go about, getting help for those people. But again, for the people who are here in the country, it can be, how do I want to say it? It can be, it could be questioned, for people who are right here, living in the country, citizens of the country, born in the country, they're being mandated to get a certain thing. But then people who are coming here, seeking refuge, they're being told they don't have to. Some people could say, okay, well, how is that fair? That you're making one group, you're mandating that one group has to get it, but then you're not doing that for everyone who is coming in or seeking to come in. Okay. All right. So I agree with what you're saying as far as that. That is what I have read in the media as well. Okay. All right. Let's see what else they're saying about what's happening as far as the lockdowns in Austria. Let's see. I think I pretty much reported all the highlights. The Interior Minister of Austria said on Twitter on Tuesday that on Monday alone, so Monday was like the first full day of the lockdown for the people who did not get the thing in Austria. The Interior Minister said on Twitter on Tuesday that on Monday alone, around 15,000 people I'm sorry, around 15,000 police checks were carried out across Austria. 15,000 police checks. 15,000 different situations where police are checking to see what is the status of these people. What do y'all have to say about that? Again, is that something that's really necessary? And here's a question that I have. So once, let's say the people who are willing to share, because as I reported, the people who are not willing, according to the article, according to the information I shared, for the people who are not willing, they could even be fined. So let's say the people say, you know what, I don't want any problems. Let me just go ahead and share my status. So when they do share their status to the police, the federal police in Austria, what are they going to do with that information? Someone said it's all about giving your permission. In USA, 15,000, that's a lot, y'all. That's a lot. I don't know how many police it took to do that. I don't know how much time it took to do that, but I can say that that is a lot. Okay, that's a lot. I do agree. Someone else, well, actually, according to the article, again, this comes from CNBC. It said, and I quote, about 120 violations were found and punished, he said, adding that the public has shown a high level of cooperation with the authorities. Now, why do you think that's the case? Do you think people are just fearful? Of course, you're always, in any situation, you're going to have people that comply. You're going to have people that protest. And I did see in an actual video when I was doing research, you can find information out just by doing a quick Google search, lockdown in Austria. Even on right here on YouTube, there are videos where they have interviewed the people of Austria. There have been people who have been protesting. So I think that another misconception that people have sometimes is that when we see things like this happening, when we see the mandates, or the mandatory lockdowns in this case, which I hear is, the first of its kind, when we see things like this happen, people automatically think that everyone is just going along with it. Sometimes people may not see, and the media may not report and show that no, everybody's not going along with this. I'm putting my charger in my phone so that my phone won't go dead. The battery is getting low. There may be people that say, you know what, everybody's probably just going to go along with this, right? But it doesn't always get shown. It doesn't always get shown in the media, or the news doesn't always get out that there are actually people who are protesting against this that are not just going along with what they are trying to get people to do. Okay. So again, it says around, according to the Interior Minister of Austria, he said on Twitter on Tuesday that on Monday alone, the first full day of the lockdown, for the people who did not get the thing, that around 15,000 police checks were carried out across Austria. And I quote, it says about 120 violations were found and punished, adding that the public has shown a high level of cooperation with the authorities. Okay. Someone shared, most people don't want problems. I agree. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. I'm sorry if I went away for just a moment. I was trying to get the comments to come back up, and YouTube, the live just went away. So thank you all so much, okay, for not going anywhere. Okay, let me see. Someone shared, most people don't want problems. I agree. Others are afraid that they'll be harassed if they don't comply. Major guilt tripping. And I quote, if you don't have anything to hide, then you should answer the question. That's right. Someone else shared, it's less about obtaining public info, but rather conformity, to pressure you into getting it, to get you used to carrying it just like your ID, and to rob the citizens. That fine is ridiculous. I agree with that as well. Thank you all for sharing your comments. They're giving you the problem. I agree with that as well. Thank you all for sharing your comments. They're giving you the problem and the solution. There you go. Someone else agreed. And the info is already in a registered system. The cops don't need it. That's a question that I have as well. is this information being put in the public database somewhere? Now, I remember seeing this a while ago, and it seems like it came from our administration. They were saying that they're not actually keeping track of this, and I just found that hard to believe. I just felt like, there's so much money being put behind this, and there's so much advertisement being put behind this, that you mean to tell me there's no way that you're keeping track of who has it and who doesn't have it? But then again, maybe that's just one of the things that they don't want us to know about. They don't really want us to, know the truth about. But again, for those people who are sharing the information. Oh, someone said my audio is going in and out. Are you all able to hear me? The only people worried about the V is the government and fearful people. Okay, you all let me know. Can you hear me? Someone said my audio is going in and out. You all let me know. Can you hear me? I'm gonna turn up the volume a little bit. My internet connection right now, I'm using the Wi-Fi, and it's saying that it's fine, but you all let me know. Can you hear me clearly? Am I coming through clearly? You all let me know. Okay, someone said yes. Okay, you all can hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Oh, let's see. All right, Andrew, your audio is going in and out. That happens when you lean forward to read the comments. Okay, hey, I told y'all this is new. I'm getting better, so y'all work with me, okay? All right, someone says, I can tell you that the state of Georgia is logging it into GRITS. It's private info, though. Wow, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. GRITS. I wonder what that stands for. GRITS. It seems like I have heard of that, but I don't know what it stands for. But thank you for sharing that. Audio okay now. Okay, very good. Okay, let me now I want to know what GRITS is. Okay, hold on one second. I'm gonna look that up. So what I'm doing tonight, y'all, I'm live streaming from my cell phone, but I'm actually I have my laptop. I have my laptop right here in front of me, and I am reporting the news. I'm reading it to you all and sharing it with you all from my laptop. So again, trying something new, y'all. Let's see. Okay, I wanted to know what is GRITS, okay? So for the person who shared that in the chat, if you could explain what that is, GRITS. Let's see. GRITS. I'm curious to know. It's, you know how you've heard of something and but you're not sure exactly what it is. Let's see. What is GRITS? Okay, yes. If you can help me find out what that is. GRITS. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I think I found it. So GRITS, GRITS, the acronym stands for the Georgia Registry of Immunization Transactions and Services. Okay, so I believe I found it. Now it does say, let me see, what am I reading here? Oh, okay. The Department of Public Health. Got it. Okay. Okay, I wanted to know exactly what it was. Okay, so I tell you, it sounds like one of those things. Okay, I'm supposed to know what this is, or I should know what this is, but you know what it is. You just didn't know what it was called. Okay, all right. Okay, some more comments came through. Medical personnel can access it anytime. When I'm reading something and I pause, y'all, that means I'm trying to get the comments back up. Medical personnel can access it anytime with a registered account. Courts can subpoena it if necessary. It's out there. Thank you. Thank you for that information. Where all of the things are logged from birth. Okay. Every jab you receive since birth in Georgia, that jab record that you pick up for school. Gotcha. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Okay. All right. So again, y'all, based on that information, we know that it is being stored, um, and we're being told, or at least I remember one time in the media it was shared that there's no, public database for this thing, but we know that there is a record, um, somewhere of this. Okay, this was always headed this way as soon as the dollar was created. Look on the back of your dollar bill. It says new world order in Latin. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. I don't even have any cash on me right now. Um, but I'm gonna definitely check that out. And I think that's something that I have heard of too as well. Um, but I'm gonna look into that also. I don't know if I've talked about this on the channel as well, but there was a video. There's a video out there. Bill Gates, he did a TED Talks, and it was recorded, I want to say 11 years ago. And the title of the video is called Innovating to Zero. Have you all ever heard of that video or watched that video? If you have not, I do encourage you to watch it. But the thing that's so interesting, the thing that's concerning, is that 11 years ago, let me see the exact date. I want to say it was February 2010. I've talked about this before on the channel. Let me look it up really quickly. But what I want to say is that a lot of the things that he talked about in the video, he talked about climate change, things that were happening in society or that were coming, things that we were currently doing, things that were to come, how all of those things were having a negative effect on climate change. And he basically talked about what he called solutions. And, a lot of things that he talked about 11 years ago, y'all, are happening right now. How is that? How did he know 11 years ago that all of these things would be happening? Okay, evil hidden all this time right under our noses. I'm telling you, and it's the information was out there. I can speak for myself. I just didn't know to look for it. Okay, innovating to zero. Okay, so if you are not familiar with that, let me type it in really quickly. Okay, let me see. I'm not sure if I can type in the chat. Not sure if I can type in the chat, but I'll go back after the video and I will pin it so you all can go and watch it. But the video was recorded 11 years ago. It was, right now it has 3.9 million views. And it was recorded February 20th, 2010. And so a lot of things, hold on, y'all. Let me see. Okay, someone said, no, I haven't heard of that video, but we'll watch it since you just mentioned it. Bill Gates supports depopulation. Okay, it's called Innovating, INN. Okay, if you all want to write it down, I don't know how to type in the chat while I'm streaming live from my cell phone. I'm nervous that if I try to do it, I'm going to end the live and I don't want to lose y'all because we're having a really good discussion right now. So I'm going to spell it out for you. If you have go ahead and grab your pencil and pen or a notepad. But the title of the video, I want you all to watch it. I'm going to actually come back one of these days. I'm going to do a discussion about it. But I want you to watch this video. I tell a lot of people about this video because my question is that how did you know 11 years ago that the things you were talking about, the plans that you were explaining, how did you know that was going to unfold and happen and turn out to be what we see happening now? So the title of the video, again, this is a TED Talk, TED, TED. But the title of the video is called Innovating, INNOVATING, Innovating to, the word TO, zero, ZERO. Okay, I hope I spelled it right, y'all. Innovating to zero, Bill Gates. If you type that in, it should be the first video that pops up. Again, 3.9 million views. Uploaded February 20th, 2010. It's almost kind of scary. The things that he talks about, how he talks about basically that someone else earlier mentioned depopulation. He talks about the fact that basically I think there were four factors that he mentioned that were heavily contributing to climate change. One of them being the fact that there are just absolutely too many people on the earth. And one of the ways to, one of the solutions he claimed to help ease that is through, he talked about the V word. You all know what I'm talking about. He talked about that. He also, I thought this was interesting. He also mentioned reproductive services. Those are some of the things that he mentioned when he talked about the population of the earth. But I want you to watch that video. I will be coming back giving some commentary on that video, and I want to play it on the channel. But you all know how sometimes, with copyright issues and things like that, I don't want to get my channel in trouble by playing this. So that's why I'm giving you all the title of the video. That way you can go and research. Okay, hold on. Let me go back. Okay, someone said you have to see the signs. No, this was coming 2 years ago. It's not going to get better financially. Someone said, no, I haven't heard of that video, but we'll watch it since you mentioned it. Yes, Bill Gates supports depopulation. Someone else shared, now they're not even trying to deny it's in our collective faces now. Someone said, I'm going to say this and be out. America has outgrown its own economic system. A new world order way of being has come. He knew because he's one of the elitists that set the plan in motion. I'm telling you. And back in 2010, these things were being talked about. It wasn't in the news from what I remember. It wasn't something that was in the news. Thank you so much for sharing that, okay? Someone says you ain't never lied. That's true. Thank you for your comments. Hope to see you back here. Have a good night. That's right. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Bill Gates, someone also said that smallpox will be the next pandemic. Someone please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to look that up. It sounds like something that, based on what I have heard him say, especially from this video, I wouldn't be shocked if that is something that he actually said. It sounds like something that he would say. And, we just have to, do our research and find these things out. So thank you all so much for sharing that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at the time. Someone says it is 11. Okay, it just turned to 11:12, but yep, you're right. Wow. Okay. All right. Someone said yep. Okay. All right, y'all. So I don't want to keep y'all too much longer. I'm just coming on, sharing some information with you all. Thank you all so much for sticking with me and sharing information. Let's see a couple more things, and then I want to close it out. One thing that I want you all to also look up and research, Dr. Fauci. I want to mention him. You all know there used to be a time, now I will admit this, there used to be a time where when the pandemic first started, I used to, want to hear from Dr. Fauci, to hear what he had to say and share. That changed for me a couple of months ago when I started doing more research. If you are not familiar with Senator Rand Paul, I believe he's out of Kentucky. I hope I'm not saying the wrong state, but I want you all to research and look at some discussions, some talks that he has had with Dr. Fauci about news that he has been reporting to us. And I'm asking the question, has Dr. Fauci actually been truthful with the public, with the American people, with the world, in his role when it comes to funding something called gain of research? And so I know Senator Rand Paul, who is someone who it seems like is actively fighting for the truth and to get correct information out, to bring some truth to a lot of questions that we have. I want you all to look up Senator Rand, R-A-N-D, Senator Rand Paul. Look at the things that he's saying. For some reason, I guess because of what he's saying and what he's sharing, the media, people in the media, people in higher places, I guess you could say. Someone mentioned the elitists. They're trying to silence him, but I've actually been paying attention to what he's been saying for a while now, and there has been some information come out about Dr. Fauci that suggests he hasn't been completely truthful. Let's see. Okay. CDC is investigating vials of smallpox in labs in Philadelphia. And nobody knows how it got there. Look it up. Well, I'm going to look that up. See, investigating vials of smallpox in a lab in Philadelphia, and nobody knows. Hold on, nobody knows how it got there. Look, I'll do that. I'll do that. Thank you. Let's see. Okay. But yeah, Dr. Fauci, like I said, at one time, let me see, did I miss any comments? Okay, Dr. Fauci has ties to the Wuhan lab, and yes, he's involved with the funding of the coronavirus. I said it, y'all. I was trying not to say it, but I said it. But you all know exactly what I'm talking about, okay? But it just seems like there's some information, there's some research that suggests that he hasn't been completely truthful with what he has been sharing about his involvement. Someone said, in the lab. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more after I do some more research. I want to bring some specific facts, but it's kind of alarming, the information that's coming out there about what exactly happened in that lab, Wuhan lab. And if it is true, the people, we need answers, we need clarification, we need transparency about what is exactly going on. Okay. All right, y'all. I think this is all that I wanted to share on tonight. We've had a really good discussion. If you tuned in and you didn't get to see the beginning of the video, I do encourage you to go back, watch it, leave your comments and thoughts. I will try to come back live again tomorrow. A lot of things have been happening, you all. I want us to have a discussion about the infrastructure bill that was recently signed into law by President Biden. I believe it's referred to as the Build Back Better plan. But what exactly is going to be made better? And do we, as the American people, do we really stand to benefit from it? Even with speaking about that, there are some people, some experts are saying, hey, this whole infrastructure plan, this bill, this is not something that is just outstanding. This is something that actually should have been done a long time ago. So we're going to talk about that as well. Okay, someone said, please look at Dr. Fauci's interview on 60 Minutes when he talks about using face masks. I'm going to do that. Okay, Dr. Fauci's interview on 60 Minutes when he talks about using face masks. Okay, I'll definitely look that up, as well as CDC investigation smallpox. Let me make a note about that right now before I forget. Okay. All right, let me go back. I'm making some notes, y'all. Let's see. Okay, CDC investigating vials of smallpox. How did they get there? Vials of smallpox. Is smallpox still around, y'all? Vials of smallpox in a lab. In Philadelphia. No one knows how it got there. We need answers. No one knows how it got there. Okay. And I also need to look up, let's see. I need to also look up Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci, 60 Minutes interview on face mask. 60 Minutes interview on face mask. Okay, I'll definitely look that up and I'll be able to talk about it in my next video. All right, well, thank you all so much for adding value to the channel. I appreciate it. I try to email those links to you. Okay, I'll definitely check it out. I'll check my email and I'll look for that. Thank you all so much for contributing to the channel, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you all. You know, it is just so wonderful to see when I think about, you know, where I started with the channel and how it has grown and is continuing to grow. It really makes me feel good that people are wanting to tune in and support me, get the information and share the information with family members and friends. You all even sharing new information with me that I haven't even heard about yet. So definitely some information that I'm going to look into. I'm going to do some research and I'm going to come back and speak about it on the channel as well. So I want to say thank you all so much. Where I am, it is 11:19 p.m. and I'm going to be going to bed soon, but I want to again say thank you all so much for your support. Hey, listen, please make sure that you share this video with someone you love, someone you care about, so they too can know what's going on. And even though the things that we talked about tonight, primarily talking about the lockdowns in Austria, even though you may not live in Austria, what I want you and I to both think about is, hey, wait a minute, could this happen in our country? And if so, what would that look like? Is that something that could possibly happen here? And I even think this is an opportunity, you know, to where, you know, a lot of times what I've learned is a lot of times when people want to get things done, what do? They reach out to their elected officials, the people who they elect into positions, and they hold them accountable. So, you know, I think this is a time for us to even hold our elected officials accountable and to also see their stance on where they stand as well. You know, what are their thoughts on that? So again, I want to say thank you all so much for your support. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you can stay connected and informed when I do upload new content every week. So again, y'all have a great night. Thank you so much for your feedback, your comments, as well as contributing to the channel. Thank you all so much. I appreciate your comments and for the love that you are showing me. You all have a good night. Take care, and I'll be back live soon right here on Andrea Speaks TV. Good night. Have a good night, y'all. Thank you.